Let's see how things are coming on. So we've got lots of tomatoes under here. I'll take all the covers off in a minute so you can see better. More tomatoes. More tomatoes. You see I use these semi-plastic cups on top. They make good individual germinating areas. Keep the warmth in and let the light in. We've got more tomatoes now on here. The top row at the moment at the end is basil. Lots of basil, more basil in here. Lots of basil in here. I think I'm good for basil. We've got lots growing underneath. As I say, I'm going to take all the containers off. Got lettuce at the back. More tomatoes. Lettuce. This bean is growing out the top. Can you see at the top? There's the bean coming out. I've already put a bigger water bottle on top. This is one of those full-size industrial water bottles. So you can see how big the bean's going. I just want you to see the setup of how it is before I take all the covers off. So we will go to it. There's some more beans here. These here are watermelons. And then last time I left you, I just started off some different kinds of zucchinis. Some more watermelons behind. Lots of zucchinis. I guess you can see a lot of them coming up. They're big now. These are really big ones. I'll go through what types they were in a minute where I get the covers off so you can see them better. Lots more there. More tomatoes here. More zucchinis. The big water bottles, all zucchinis. Some more basil. That one's doing particularly well. There's several in that one. And more peppers and a few other bits and pieces. And there's lots more growing outside, so I'll take you out to that as well in a minute. But let's get the covers off for now. So here are the Tonda zucchinis, the round ones. These are all going out now, still with covers on, of course. And here's Mr. Colin Waffles to have a look. These are the Bianca zucchini. Again, these are going out because anything with these big tops on were hard to water on the rack because I wedged them in, so I have to take them out to water them, and that would give me more space on my indoor growing racks. Oh, these are doing the best. These are the marrow, doing really well. These doing well, the trombetta, which I really love just for the appearance in the garden, makes it look like you're growing something awesome. So if you're not very good at growing, try some of this type and you will be so pleased when you see them trailing miles down your garden and you'll feel like you're really accomplished. These are the ones that are long but make a sort of U shape when they're grown. And that is where they have gone for now. We don't sit at the stone table this time of year because it's wet or damp or cold. And I don't know, I've not thought of putting things on here before. They're still covered. That's some basil that I've done outside. The one on the right is from last year. The one on the left is new from this year. And they always sit there in the basket all year round, which if anyone sits under here gives a nice pleasant smell. So this is where all the zucchini types are, and as I say, that leaves me so much more space now, and it gets the sunlight from here in the morning all the way around here, so they still get plenty of sun. They are sheltered a little bit from the big carob tree, so that's given me so much more space indoors. The cucumbers outside are all in flower now. I'll just show you one. So So they're all in flower. And there are a couple of tomato pots out here as well, extra ones. They're coming up great. Just keep them all cosy. There's another cucumber in flower. I've moved the solo Malabar spinach over here into this rack, just so I've got more room on the other areas. And the basil that was on here has been transplanted. This is some lettuce I transplanted on the top. Rosemary's still going strong during the winter. The chives and my little mini greenhouse, no cost frugal greenhouse with some tomatoes in there. And some over there with a random weed in the back. As long as you keep everything warm, they should do well. This I think was the green spinach. I think that's what this is. And there's some in there as well. I've dug up another amount of, if you remember, Mike used to come and drop manure off from the stables. We used to leave it at the very end of our driveway, the part you rarely see. You always see the bit we drive in and out of, but it goes round in almost a horseshoe shape and we leave it the other end. So I dug some more of that up and brought it in this big container. It's all dry. As you can see, it's very broken down now. You wouldn't even know it was manure. So I put a little bit of that sometimes in my growing pots, or I sometimes put it in the bottom of the big water bottles if I'm growing directly in there. Very rarely do I put it on a bed unless it's a brand new growing area bed that I'm developing. As you can see, the lettuce is all coming up still. I keep thinning it out. That's all growing really well. As I say, the front rows are lettuce when there's a double row. The back row are different herbs, and I can see now finally the herbs are coming up. That looks very much like parsley. I do have records of what I plant where. So these are growing really well. Yes, there's definitely parsley in this back row. I do love my parsley. I eat so much of it, that's why I'm growing so much. More lettuce again on the front row. All different types of lettuce. Each row is a different type of lettuce. So that's coming on there. I actually use the bar a lot outside for my potting area. So when I've got soil left where I'm transplanting these, I keep it. I reuse everything. I never get rid of soil. And then I just throw it into bigger containers and as and when I need it. I always keep a container for when you find little stones or weeds as you're transplanting some of these things. You'll see a few odd little weeds or grass. So I always keep a container there just to throw anything like that in. But this works really well. So I'm out in the sunshine doing it and plenty of room. It doesn't matter how dirty it gets. Just been transplanting some of the peppers. The first lot of peppers that are big enough. Been transplanting those, and that's why I needed to clear some of the shelves off because it's on the floor at the moment. So taking all that zucchini out, you can see I've got quite a lot of room there now and lots of room on this shelf. So I'll take all the tops off and show you because I need to water everything, just see what's dry. The only things that really tend to get dry are, funny enough, pots. Pots. These stay nice and moist, so I really, if at all, water these. Something like the bean I would water because it's growing really tall, so I think that wants some more water. So really it's just pots I've got to check if they're dry. These help a lot. And as I say, these don't really ever need water unless they're seriously overcrowded. Then I would water these. But I always take all the lids off and check everything, de-weed if there's a little bit of grass or something coming up. So let's see what's growing. Okay, so let's start over here. You've just seen the peppers I transplanted, and this is the newly transplanted tomatoes. They're really tall. You can never get perspective of things obviously on video. These ones here are the large vine tomatoes. I can't always remember without looking at my sheet what's where, so if you want to see what they are when I first transplant something, I do normally say what they all are. I only know that because I've found the label. So we have many different varieties of tomatoes growing, really doing well in here. Bit of grass, and then more tomatoes here growing really well. And then up here, these are plum tomatoes, a little bit more stringy. I've just transplanted those. There wasn't so many of these growing, but that might have been because I didn't have many seeds. I was using up seeds in my jars, so I might not have had many seeds of those. And funny enough, my friend came over and she had said about getting some tomato seeds. I said, oh, go through my seed box, you can have whatever's left of my tomato seeds. She went through and she went, there's none there. So I literally gave her a big ice cream tub full of cups of tomato plants. So she's got her tomatoes already growing. On the top here we've got the transplanted basil. There is tons of it, and as you know there's some more growing elsewhere. Some are transplanted into the old pots from last year outside in different places, because I've got areas where I really like basil to grow just for the scent of it, areas where people sit. So there's a lot of basil going on there, and there's actually multiple basil in some of the pots as well, not just one. So this is all basil. The back here, this is a lettuce. I can eat lettuce, so I'm going to grow as much as possible, and I have grown them all different stages, so I won't get a big glut of them all at once. They are different stages and different types. I've got as many different types of lettuce as I can find. So here's some transplanted lettuce. These are transplanted from that outdoor rack that I'm growing my herbs and lettuce on. These are ones I've thinned out. This is the green spinach. Then here we have more peppers. I'm doing a big load of peppers because you can freeze peppers anyway. So I can't have too many, and I can only eat red peppers. I'm not allowed to eat any other colour pepper. So I will want lots of red peppers, and then let the others go to other colours. So Mike can have different colour ones, but I will have the red peppers. And then more tomatoes here. These are the oval shaped tomatoes. They're pomodoro I think they are. And then let's take this off Mr. Bean. And that's the trouble when you take tops off. He is so long. There's Mr. Bean. That's why I like him in the bottle, because it keeps him upright. There's supposed to be beans growing in these, and I'm not tall enough to see if anything's happening. No, nothing's growing, I don't think, in that one. I have to film it and then look when I edit, but I don't think anything's coming up in that one. And ooh, there's a start. I don't know if you can see all the green there. That's definitely been starting. Oh no, there's more there. This one is rubbed off. I do have paper with things on. There's those. These are the watermelons that I transplanted, I think possibly last time or the video before that. This one's doing really well. So these are all watermelons, and I'm in no rush to put those anywhere because they like moisture. Some more here. So these are watermelons in various stages. And the bottom row, these are basil. The reason they're here, these were on the outside rack near the white table, and it got very windy. We had Coptic winds and the covers kept blowing away. So me and Mike got fed up with rounding up the covers for these. It was just exactly where they were in the garden. The rest, nothing else in the garden got uncovered, just that one rack area. And so I just bought those 4 in. At the back we've got boxes where I've taken out transplanted things from, but I always leave them to see if some more come up. And then we have some more peppers. This is all peppers over here now. There's a few here, so I'll transplant and then a few more always come up, so I always hang on a little bit longer. This is how people get what you like to call volunteers. That's how it occurs. So I've got more peppers there, more peppers there, lots of peppers there. They're probably the next ones to transplant the biggest ones out. More peppers there, my goodness, Pepper City. More peppers there, more peppers there, and more peppers there. So that's a little update for you. As I say, I've got so much space now. Once I put all these covers on, that's going to be a lot more space. And these 2 shelves. So I'm going to be seeding. I'm going to have a look at what I've actually got coming up and then go from there. So catch up with the next update soon.